So you know Rudy Giuliani, Trump's personal attorney, went to Ukraine not too long ago, talked to some people, and I'm going to just share this little picture with you real quick, just to give you a little context. if a picture could speak 1,000 words, here it is. There's Giuliani speaking with his counterpart in the Ukraine. Very serious look on his face. What is this? What is this paperwork you got here? What is this? These three paragraphs. What is this? This guy, hey, not looking real happy. Like we're just here, buddy, having a good time. Looks like they're talking about something very, very serious. Rudy Giuliani can barely contain himself over his Ukraine findings. Zero hedge. Rudy Giuliani is grinning like the Cheshire cat. His standard smile. Looks a little. I'm just gonna be fair here. Let's go back to that. This looks a little bit Fire Marshal Billish. Hey, let me show you something. Yeah, to be fair. For the past several weeks, the personal attorney of President Trump has been in Ukraine interviewing witnesses and gathering evidence to shed light on what the Bidens were up to during the Obama years and get to the bottom of claims that Kyiv interfered in the 2016 U.S. election in favor of Hillary Clinton. Isn't it amazing? We're so worried about interference, any interference in our elections. How did that one go by with nobody saying anything? Oh, we have to make up the Russians helping Donald Trump, but we know for a fact that Ukraine's helped Hillary Clinton. We're just going to leave that alone. Remember, the FBI knew Mr. Orr's wife, Nellie Orr, whatever, worked with Fusion GPS, whatever, tied to Christopher Steele, who had the dossier, who gave it to the Fusion GPS. You've got people within the government knowing this. And they, oh, no, I didn't know that. No, we didn't know. Hiding exculpatory evidence. And during their investigation, the FBI, they knew Ukraine was helping Hillary. I think we're going to find that out here, like officially in the near future. So anyways, it's been they're interviewing witnesses and gathering evidence to shed light on what the Bidens were up to during the Obama years and get to the bottom of claims that Kyiv interfered in the 2016 U.S. election in favor of Hillary Clinton. He has enlisted the help of former Ukrainian diplomat Andrei Telishchenko to gather information from politicians and ask them to participate in a documentary series in partnership with One American News Network, OANN, which will make the case for investigating the Bidens, as well as Burisma Holdings, the natural gas firm which employed the son of a sitting U.S. vice president in a case which reeks of textbook corruption. And again, Hunter Biden, the son who sat on the board, he got a baby mama who was a stripper and is suing for child support, back pay and whatnot. And she's requesting all financial documents from Mr. Hunter Biden, because I think you owe me a lot more than what you think you owe me. And if he was making $58,000, $80,000, whatever the number was, a month, the guy was making millions of dollars. I mean, that was just one of them. Remember, there's other deals too. So her court case may be able to subpoena that information during the discovery process and whatnot. And imagine if he says, oh, well, this is all I made. I didn't make that much money. Wait a minute. Where did the money go that you were making on the board of Burisma? Where did that money go? What about the China deal? Where'd that money go, right? It's going to open up a can of worms for the Bidens that I don't think they're going to be able to put back in the can, so to speak. Trump and Giuliani say then Vice President Biden engaged in corruption when he called for the ouster of a Ukrainian prosecutor who had investigated a Ukrainian gas company where Hunter Biden served on the board. The Bidens deny wrongdoing, and ousting the prosecutor was a goal at the time of the U.S. and several European countries, says the Wall Street Journal. Note the Wall Street Journal's use of a straw man when they write, quote, well, let's move back up. Where'd it go? There it is. The allegations of Ukrainian election interference are at odds with findings by the U.S. intelligence community that Russia was behind the election interference. Of course. Apparently, the 3 journalists who collaborated on the article didn't get the memo that 2 countries can meddle at the same time. Nor did any of them read the January 2017 Politico article, Ukrainian Efforts to Sabotage Trump Backfire, which outlines how Ukrainian government officials conspired with a DNC operative to hurt the Trump campaign during the 2016 election, a move which led to the disruptive ouster of campaign chairman Paul Manafort. Teleshenko, the former diplomat, tells the Journal, this is the guy he's talking to, tells the Journal that the plan for the series was conceived during the impeachment hearings as a way for Giuliani to tell his side of the story. The former Ukrainian diplomat flew to Washington on November the 20th to film with Giuliani, while in early December he accompanied America's mayor, Giuliani, on the Kyiv trip, stopping in Budapest, Vienna, and Rome. Italy? Yeah, interesting. Oh, that's right, the Five Eyes spy ring. Sounds like maybe he had to make a couple of pit stops. Rudy comes home. Upon his return to New York on past Saturday, Giuliani said he took a call from President Trump while his plane was still taxiing down the runway. According to the Wall Street Journal, quote, "What did you get?" Trump asked. Quote, "More than you can imagine," answered the former New York mayor, who gained notoriety in the 1980s for taking down the mob as a then federal prosecutor. That's Mr. Giuliani. According to the 77-year-old Giuliani, Trump instructed him to brief Attorney General William Barr and GOP lawmakers on his findings. Soon after, the president then told reporters at the White House, "I hear he has found plenty." Rudy has been working on this project for a while. In late January, he conducted phone interviews with 4 Ukrainian prosecutors, Viktor Shokin and Yuri Lutsenko. On the call was George Boyle, Giuliani's chief operating officer at the director of investigations. Boyle started as an NYPD beat cop in 1987 and was promoted to detective, eventually joining the Special Victims Squad. In short, the ever-grinning Giuliani has some serious professionals working on this. When he believes he's right, he loves taking on fights, said longtime Giuliani friend Tony Carbonetti. That said, Giuliani's efforts have not gone off without a hitch. In October, 2 associates, Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman, both of whom assisted with his Ukraine investigation, were related in October on campaign finance charges, one of their favorite tactics to throw against anybody. Both men have pleaded not guilty, while Giuliani denies wrongdoing and says that they did not lobby him. Again, another political hit job. Parnas, notably, was also on the January call with Shokin and Lutsenko as a translator. In pressing ahead on Ukraine, Mr. Giuliani has replaced the translation skills of Parnas and Fruman with an app he downloaded that allows him to read Russian documents by holding his phone over them. But on his recent trip, he said, "Despite whatever else you can say, I miss them." Those guys. Trump opponents insist Giuliani is conducting shadow foreign policy and orchestrated the ouster of former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Mary Yovanovitch, who Ukraine's new president, Mr. Zelensky, complained on a now famous July 25th phone call, accused of not recognizing his authority. Yeah, that Mary, the Democrat, the Obama pick, of course. In the impeachment hearings, witnesses accused Mr. Giuliani of conducting a shadow foreign policy and orchestrating the ouster of the U.S. ambassador to Ukraine. He was described as problematic and disruptive. And in testimony, that cited former National Security Advisor John Bolton, likened to a hand grenade that's going to blow everybody up. Mr. Giuliani has said he kept the State Department apprised of his efforts and that he was working at the president's behest. Again, according to the Wall Street Journal. "Just have fun while Dems and friends try to destroy my brilliant career," Giuliani wrote in a text message while conducting his investigation overseas. He's having a field day. And Trump was so excited. What did you get? Hey, did you get anything? I want to be with Liz. Oh, yes, New Yorkers. We got former New Yorker. Trump's staying down to Florida now. This is former New Yorkers. We got to stick together, right? Stake in a prison cell. Stake in a prison cell for those Democrats. Many of them. He said, I got more than we ever bargained for, basically. And did you catch the part where he said, I've given some information to the Justice Department, namely Mr. Bill Barr, the Attorney General of the United States. Oh, so you might be helping him unknowingly, accidentally, in his investigation by some of the people you've interviewed and whatnot and brought over here. Remember, they brought him over here too. And he went over there. He visited some of the same places that the Attorney General has visited outside this country. I'm telling you, any other time, I would not have any faith in this. I wouldn't even spend that much time on this. I'd do a quick little video here and there, and that'd be the end of it. Guys, don't expect anything. It's a big effing club, and you ain't in it. It's like Gerald Celente says, it's justice. No, it's just us, because there's no justice for you and I. Not when the club's involved. They get away scot-free every time. It's a deep state. All that, right? That's what Gerald says. But we got us a Trump. We are literally playing the Trump card. I've never had faith that anything would ever get done. Nobody gets in trouble. Again, like I say, commission, we've got to put up a new commission with 9 members. Oh, you guys were all in previous, many of you, the top guy, you're in a previous commission where it was fraudulent. They just picked you out to, make you look like you did something. You did nothing. You covered it up. The commission found nothing. Everything. Commission for the 9/11 thing. Commission for the banking and loan scandal. Iran-Contra scandal. All these other scandals. We got a commission. Oh, let me guess how it's going to go. Yeah, no, nothing. Yeah, have a nice day. We won't do it again. And then they immediately go and do it right away. They never even stopped. This is just public TV nonsense for the public to consume. Yeah, we made mistakes, incompetence, didn't know any better. It's real hard to prove intent, James Comey. Intent's real hard. Yeah, I guess if anyone robs a bank, just use the James Comey defense. And tell them you're gonna have to show that I intended to rob the bank. I didn't actually intend it. I walked in, I was gonna do business, and then I changed my mind and I robbed it. So I did not intend to rob it when I walked in. You guys are gonna have to give me the same benefit of the doubt James Comey had. But we got us a Trump, and I think for the first time in everybody's lives that are alive, you're gonna actually see some justice. Are they gonna get everybody? Most likely, no. Are they going to get some good people? Most likely, yes. I'd love nothing more than to see Hillary Clinton go to effing jail. But there's a lot of people in front of her that are probably going to fall and die on the sword. It wasn't her. Just saying. But if she's attached to any other criminal matters, trafficking or anything, that's a different story. But, again, that's another story for another time. Take care.